Hey, hello. Happy Labor Day weekend to everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a good one like I did. So I was going to keep it light today. So we're going to let some folks come in. Hey, Curtis, what's going on? Harmonize, Milani, everybody. Hopefully your weekend and end of the summer, the official end of the summer is on upon us. So it's back to work for everybody. So I just thought I'd keep this show light today because I had some stuff that I wanted to say, but you know what? I didn't want to think too heavily into the politics just so soon. We got plenty of time for that. Maybe next Monday I'll talk about what show I might, and you guys can help me to say which one you think I should do. I have a couple in my head, so and those will get a little bit more serious because I think people take a lot of these things serious. But Pop the Balloon, I like that thumbnail with my man from It. I was thinking about getting me a mask and having that shit on when this thing came on, but I'm not that creative. What can I say? So that was my movie too. I read the book around twice and saw all the movies. Hey, can tell you how you doing. Uh, who else is there? Oh yes, Mike. That's what's up, BMU over here, welcoming everybody to the show. So before we get started, I want to not set ground rules, but I know a lot of people do reactions to the Pop the Balloon, and congrats to Arlette because she was on to something because her show was the most professional in terms of how she carries it out, and even though some of the folks could be goofy and stuff, the show is professionally done. And I think she's being rewarded for it with people reacting to it all over the place. So I think there's things to be gleaned from the interactions between the ladies and the guys, whether the woman is looking at a whole bunch of guys or the guys looking at a whole bunch of women trying to find a date. Some of their body language, some of their conversations tell you what people are really looking for. You say, are they really looking for love or are you just looking to smash? That kind of stuff. Um, so with this particular, we got three ladies who are going to come up and question the men. This time is the ladies questioning the lineup of guys, and so this is going to be interesting. But I want you to kind of put in your head what the ladies doing in their lives, and then what the guys say they're doing as well, right? Because some of the guys on this panel actually have some decent jobs, and you could tell that they have a little bit of education. These guys are some of them are younger, a lot of them in their 20s, and the ladies are not that. The ladies are in their 20s as well, I believe, or maybe, yeah, somewhere like that. So it's interesting to see their interaction. And then one of the things we're going to do a little differently. As soon as the ladies come up and introduce themselves, we're going to take a peek at their IG, right? Just a short peek at their IG, see what kind of pictures they post. Because once you see them introduce themselves, if we look at their IG, we'll get another flavor of what kind of ladies we're talking about. Not to say we're going to really judge them too harshly because we know what IG is all about. Hey, what's up, Edwards? Um, Except we can get a picture of where their heads are at, and what kind of things they're looking for. Are they really looking for love, or are they looking for a good time, or a little combination of both, right? So, and then there might be a few chuckles here and there, and that kind of stuff. So I like the Pop the Balloon show. Uh, in my heyday, it would be interesting to see if I brought my stupid butt up there and see what would happen. If all the ladies will just pop the balloons right away or not. But for me, I can tell you this. A woman have to be really ratchet just by looking at her for me to pop the balloon. I would probably not pop the balloon until I get my chance to question the chick. Maybe. But here's another thing, and I thought this was only women. I think the guys pop the balloon based on other people popping the balloon as well. I think women do it worse because it's like the peer pressure kind of thing for each one. But I think some of the men, maybe it's because they're modern men, some of them pop the balloon just because the other guy popped the balloon. And I think that's crazy too. I say, at the very least, I would want my time in the well to see if I could connect with the chick. And then if I don't like her, I'll pop my balloon. I just might not pop it unless she's really, really ratchet from the beginning. Anyway, so hey, take heed to the message. How you doing? Hey, listen, I looked at some of your lives. I'm not sure. I didn't look at it all, but I'm not sure if when you were talking about Cam and my man Nick Cannon, I think you came down real hard on those guys. I'm not sure because I didn't watch all of it. But one of my thoughts on my Monday show is I want to have a counter to all the ladies out there beating those two guys up. And I'm going to tell people why. So that's one show I'm thinking about doing. And the other show is in my head, and you guys can tell me throughout the night. The other show is I'm going to put the white liberal up against the white conservative in the context of which one has been worse for the Black community. You know, that's the one I want to. So it's either one of those shows. I could do them both. But who's worse for the Black community, the liberal or the conservative? And I think that's the kind of conversation where we're not talking about political parties, but we're talking about philosophies. And so, and then with the Cam Newton thing, you know what? With some of the data that's out there about women and their mating habits, I really, are curious about the selective outrage about two ultra rich men deciding not to get married, but busting out a couple of babies that they could take care of. Anyway, so that's a conversation for another day, and I think it could make a full, interesting show, maybe panel discussion kind of thing. So I don't know. We could talk about that later on. So I see a lot of people in the chat. So, and hello to everybody, and welcome aboard. Why don't we kind of get started with the videos, BMU, and if you're in the back there, we can start with the First Lady, and once she gets introduced, then we can see her IG and get a little idea where she's coming from.
Being said, let's go ahead and bring out our first single lady. Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
My name is Nucci.
Hey, Nucci. How old are you?
I'm 25. I'll be 26 soon.
Okay. And what do you do?
I am an artist as well as a behavioral health tech, and I'm also a stripper.
Okay. Now, what kind of artist are you?
I rap.
Oh, okay. All right. So anything we should be looking out for? Anything soon?
Yes, actually, I dropped the song yesterday. So go ahead and check that out, you guys.
Okay.
Showgirl Nucci on YouTube and Instagram.
All right. Well, make sure to check that out. Now, what are some things you like to do for fun?
I like to write music. I love movies. Like I grew up watching movies. Like my grandma would sneak us into the movies. Like we would pay for one, go see another one, wouldn't pay for it. So yeah, love movies. I love to hike. I like to work out as well. Anybody that knows me knows that when I was like heavily into my working out like regimen, I was working out like 5-6 days a week. I got really small, plumped up a little bit, but I like myself both sizes.
Okay. Now, what are some things you look for in a man?
Just security within yourself, confidence, a guy that has like goals, and actually like doing something to achieve them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what are some deal breakers?
Ooh, deal breakers. A guy like if you've met me, if you've been around me, humbly, I do get attention. So like if you know that about me and you want to pursue me, then that's definitely something. Like if you tend to get insecure about the attention that I get, that's something that would make me like stray away from you.
Okay. All right. So we did get a couple pop balloons. Let's go on over there and see why they ended up popping.
Okay.
Before she goes, can you show her IG?
All right. Let's start with your name and age.
That's the first one, right?
Put your hands on your knees and break it back, break it back. Put your hands on your knees and break it back, break it back. Put your hands on your knees and break it back. Shorty, put your hands on your knees and break it back, throw it back. Put your hands on your knees and break it back, break back. Put your hands on your knees and break it back, break it back.
Okay. So, oh my God. All right. So let's get back to the tape. All right. So what does everybody in the chat, right? What does it impact you at all to see her first IG picture or not? You know, I mean, we don't have to, you can answer, you can say, but when we're gonna see her conversation with these guys. And are you surprised that more men didn't pop their balloon when she said, well, matter of fact, first of all, I'm not surprised that the guys didn't pop their balloon when she said there was a stripper, but automatically in my head, that would just denote to me that she would be just for fun, right? Forget about finding love, you know. we ain't got no love kind of thing. And then note that she said the kind of guy you have to be, you know, you can't worry about her getting attention. All right, so there's two ways you could take that, right? Right. So my wife, when we got married, I outkicked my coverage. She was very pretty, and she got attention, but it was attention that she didn't want. So I didn't have to worry about her. It sounds like the attention that this woman gets, she leans into it. So she's telling these guys, if you're with me and somebody starts talking to me, you're going to have to sit in the background. You know, I'll be grinding up with some of the guys at the party, even if it's on your dime. That's the kind of impression I got from that statement. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's get kicking it. I could be wrong, but you guys tell me.
And Trey, what do you do?
Yeah, she is nasty.
Project manager at a tech company.
Okay. And so why did you end up popping your balloon?
Just a profession. Stripper. That's not my preference. Nothing wrong with you.
No, honestly, I thought it was going to be more people that would pop. So I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Got it. All right. Now, is he someone that's your type?
You're dressed very well. Great smile. Just if we're going off everyday life, I probably wouldn't entertain.
Yeah.
Nothing against you. You're very handsome.
No, thank you. I appreciate
it. Now, is there something there that's making you say you wouldn't entertain him?
I think I just like a more like brolicky guy, like a little bit more like you know?
Oh man, I want more of a man.
No, not that saying like you're not that, but just for me, I'm a big girl. So
I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go down over here. Your name and age.
My name is Key. I'm 28.
And Key, what do you do?
I own a trucking business.
Okay, very cool. Now, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Just a profession, same thing. Very pretty girl.
Thank you.
Professional, yeah. That's it.
I'm sweating. It's hot.
You good.
Okay. And now, is Key someone that's your type?
Love your complexion. Like that was definitely the first thing that caught my eye when I walked out here. Love the waves as well. I probably would entertain you if you approached me. So yeah.
Okay. Entertain me. Cool. Yeah, entertain me. Baby.
All right. So we still do have quite a few balloons left unpopped. I'm gonna go ahead and have you ask these guys a question, help you narrow it down.
Ooh. Damn, I didn't really think about this.
Oh, girl.
Do any of you guys have children? You do?
Are kids a deal breaker for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's head on over here. Let's start with your name and age.
My name is John. I'm 31.
John, what do you do?
I'm an aerospace tech and I do content. So
okay, got it. So she did pop on you for the kids. Why did you have your balloon unpop for her though prior to that?
I mean, I'm not really shallow. You feel me? I like to get to know the person, so I was just trying to fill her up.
Okay, got it. Now, I know the kids is deal breaker, but is he someone that's your type?
You're so cute. Like, let me just say that you're like really cute, but like, if I'm gonna be with somebody, I need somebody that's like fine to me. Like you fine to a lot of girls. I'm sure.
Somebody else,
to me, like very cute. I love your dreads. I like the way you're dressed. Yeah.
That's cool. I respect it.
Okay.
What's going on?
Alrighty. So everyone else has no kids. Any other questions?
This is dumb, but like I do want to know your guys' signs.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't gonna pop you based off your sign. I just want to know.
We'll start here with your name and age.
My name is Dante. I'm 25.
Dante, what do you do?
I'm a famous adult entertainer and also a YouTuber as well.
Okay, got it. So to answer a question, what's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay, I like Sag. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Can you stop it for a second? Can you stop it for a second there, BMU, stop it for a second. So she didn't even flinch. Well, she's a stripper, right? But she didn't flinch when he said he was an adult entertainer. I mean, not inflection, nothing, right? So I'm just thinking, what kind of I don't know. I don't want to call her the average woman because all I know is if I was looking for a chick and she told me she was into the adult porn industry, first of all, I would have popped my balloon for that, right? And if I didn't, it would be, just to see what it would be like with a real porn star. But I mean, there wasn't even a change in her demeanor whatsoever. It's like maybe she's been around a lot of adult entertainers before. Anyway, but let's keep going. And maybe she has as a stripper.
26.
Okay. And what do you do?
And I own a online business. So yeah,
Okay.
And what's your sign?
I'm Cancer.
Okay. I like Cancer. You guys are very like emotionally intelligent and like just like intuitive when it comes to emotions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you guys like really make people feel comfortable. Like no sign I feel like is better at doing that than a Cancer. So
Yeah, that's how it is. For
I like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Name and age.
Chris, 27.
And Chris, what do you do?
I got a couple jobs. I'm a realtor first, and then I work at a community center with kids, and then I work at 2 nonprofits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I like that.
What's your sign?
Scorpio.
I have a love-hate relationship with you guys. Like I love you guys, but you guys are toxic.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, at least you know.
All right, thank you. And we did get a pop. Let's head on back this way. Your name and age.
My name's Ryan. I'm 26.
And Ryan, what do you do?
I own 2 different media companies.
Okay. So you did end up popping your balloon when she asked, "What's your sign? What's up? What's going on?"
Yeah, it's just the sign thing. I just never got into that, and I don't even like speaking about that.
Okay. I understand. Like a lot of guys are like that, so I don't fault you for that.
All good.
All right. So prior to her asking about signs, you did have your balloon unpopped. Why so?
I kind of wanted to hear her out. The profession thing did kind of take me through a little loop, but I was still open. Yeah. So and she's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. So
I was gonna say peanut butter. I like that.
So I was like, no, we can. I just want to hear what she had to say.
Got it. Now, is Ryan someone that's your type?
No, because you're just a smidgen too light skinned for me. I know I'm light skinned as well, but
Oh shit.
I like them a little bit brown to dark skin. Yeah.
Okay.
You filthy motherfucker.
Thank you. Let's go over here. Why'd you end up popping?
Can we stop it right there for a second?
I don't know.
Let's just stop it right there. Okay. All right. So is there any doubt that colorism is something that is continued by, I believe, by sisters more than anybody else? I have not. She just blatantly just said, "Hey, listen, man, you too light for me." And it's not like she's like, it's not like she's a dark brown paper bag herself. So and it kind of goes to some other stuff because I know in my dating life, I know back in the day when colorism was, I thought was bigger than it was now. I mean, the light skinned sisters like me so much more than the dark skinned one. And I wasn't fighting that particular battle, but I thought it was cool because I like the light skinned honeys. But I never really was that much against the chocolate chips. Not at all. They just didn't give me as much play as the lighter women. So she just kind of solidified the fact that some, darker skinned guys, a lot of us, do pretty well out there for sure, anyway, or at least I used to. Anyway, go ahead. Let's continue.
Oh, like you feel
You're not
me?
as light as him.
Light.
You should have gave yourself a chance.
Hey, I mean, look, I didn't know. You should have been clear on me. But it's all good.
Well,
though.
I did say brown to light skin. To
Brown,
me,
light
you are kind of like on the cusp of light, but you are, to me, you have a little bit more melanin.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So
But you want that balloon back or something?
right.
Why you biting your lip
Go
like that?
ahead,
Yeah.
Go ahead. That balloon back.
Yeah.
Get that balloon back.
Talking about, yeah.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back for you then. He ended up popping as well. What's going on?
Same thing. I'm light skinned, as everybody can see. She said brown.
It's not even
First
that
name
light, man. Come on,
Maybe I
man.
should have specified like light bright, right?
type shit. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There's nothing wrong with light brights at all. Like all
Yeah.
complexions are beautiful. It's just preference.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
But
Light bright.
yeah, no, you're damn near the same color.
Type shit. I just know I've been light skinned my whole life. I'll be dark as we in Arizona right now.
All right. So you want him to get
You
I
ain't,
don't
brother,
know.
man.
I
You
mean,
ain't
it's
that
up to
light,
him.
man. You ain't
the
passing
balloon back
for
or no?
It's
Shit.
like you mulatto or
I
something.
think I'm
man.
just. I just want to see what else is out there.
No problem. No problem. All right. So is he someone that is your type?
I love the way you're dressed.
You said it.
Very handsome. I probably wouldn't in the real world entertain.
Type shit.
Okay.
I
So
like the way she
prior to
says
her saying the whole light
entertain.
skin thing, why'd you have your balloon unpopped?
Oh, she cold.
Okay.
Yeah, my voice gone. Yeah, no, she cold.
Thank you.
It's thick as hell. Yeah.
And we did get
And
a pop
is.
down here. All right. Your name and age?
How you doing? My name is Nati.
Okay.
I'm 25.
And
I'm
Nati,
sorry,
what do
wait,
you
what's your name?
Nati. Nati.
Not T.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
Ethiopian man.
Okay. I like
and
that.
what do you do?
I'm a project engineer for a general contractor full time, and then do a little freelance estimating on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Well, first I'm an Aries. But yeah, when people ask me about my sign, I feel like they're making a lot of assumptions about the sign. To be honest, I don't believe in that at all.
Yeah.
But you cool though, you're pretty, and
Thank
I
you.
think we'd be good friends. But yeah, that's
I think so too. And honestly, let me just elaborate on like the zodiac question. Like, I would never cancel somebody because of their zodiac sign. Like, that's dumb. But like, I do, like, I'm a Virgo, so like a lot of the things that they say about Virgos is very true for me personally. So like, I just like it gives me kind of like a little insight of what your personality could look like. But obviously, I would give you the chance to like, indulge me in who you really are.
It's cool.
Okay, thank you. Let's head on back. Okay, so we do have 2 guys left. I'm gonna go ahead and see if you guys have any questions for her. You do? Okay, let's start here.
What is submission to you?
Submission.
What does being a
Ooh.
submissive woman?
Submissive is like allowing my man to lead. So like let's say we want to buy a house or something.
Yeah.
And I want to live in one area, but you tell me that you want to live in this area for this, that, and this reason. I'm gonna listen to you. And if I feel like, okay, my man has proved to me that he can lead, I think he knows what he's talking about. If we move here, it might not be the best idea. So I'm gonna go with what my man says.
What do you mean prove to you?
Just like
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
letting me know that you have like, you know what you're doing, basically. Just like financially, spiritually, mentally, with your goals. If you say that you have goals and you haven't achieved any of them, then why would I let you lead anything that has to do with me? So just proving it that way.
Good. Okay. Any questions here?
What city you stay? I mean, where you stay? Like,
I stay in Phoenix.
you stay in Phoenix?
Yes, sir.
Or I stay in Cali, so I don't know.
Ooh,
How you feel?
long distance.
Long distance.
I don't know about that one.
All right. So long distance is a no for you.
No, I
Okay.
can't do that.
Okay, so you did have him get his balloon back. Is he someone that's your type?
He's handsome. Yeah, I would entertain him.
Oh, entertain me. Hold on.
I would.
Hold on.
Did I say something bad?
You say entertain.
Yeah. Entertain the idea of getting to know you,
Entertain our
just like you would do that for me. Right?
I feel. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel that.
Let's go back this way. Why did we end up popping?
Just I had to think about what she was saying about the submission. So before I got famous, before I had anything, I had my ex of 3 years. I was trying to marry and stuff like that, but she didn't believe in the hustle. She didn't believe in what I was doing and stuff like that. I didn't have the results, you know what I'm saying with that, and she didn't believe in what was happening. And I told her what exactly was going to happen to where I am today and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I can't entrust that. Oh, I might not have it in 5 years. I might have it in 2 years. It might happen in 6 years. You feel me? But like you thinking that, oh, you don't have the results yet. You know, a lot of people don't have results yet. You feel me? Type shit. It don't come overnight. It don't come over in a year. Don't come over in 3. You got to stick and ride. If you ain't, and if you're not going to do that,
Beat it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I felt that.
Cool. All right. Well, Nucci, that is all the balloons popped, but we do thank you so much for coming on. Let's go ahead and give it up for her, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so listen, we can stop it there for a second. Hey, listen, anybody who wants to come up, even if you want to stay in the cloud and talk about the next one, and if you see something, we can halt it and talk about the picture. But again, that was the first lady. We got 2 more left. And so what are your thoughts about her? I mean, I'm surprised that none of these guys just didn't stick it out to see if they could just bang one out over a night. We could have talked stripper stuff and shit, stripper to stripper. Because I don't know, man. But some of those guys, you listen to their professions. Some of them might actually be looking for a serious girl. I don't know about the porn star. He says he's looking for a serious girl, but how are you going to have a serious relationship when you banging out chicks on the screen? It doesn't make any sense to me. So and what kind of woman would accept that? That's the other question. What kind of woman that that you want to be submissive to you would accept you banging out honeys on the screen for money? Because I know the opposite. Men ain't gonna really accept the kind of man who would marry a porn star is not the kind of guy that would be in the circle that I'm aware of. Anyway, what's going on, Trey Taylor? So anyway, Trey, there you go, man. It's trash TV. Anyway, all right. So if anybody wants to be in the cloud, great. But we could go with the second girl. Let's just keep it going. And so we'll show up, she'll introduce herself, and then we'll see her IG to see if we can get anything out of her IG. So whenever you're ready, BMU, we'll do that. Hey, Kasim, what's going on? How you doing, man? He's probably taking a break back there. Anyway, so there he is. There we go. We got some motion here.
Next single lady. Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
I'm Simone.
Simone, how old are you?
I'm 24.
And what do you do?
I am a full-time content creator, lifestyle and beauty content, and then I'm currently in my master's program at Pepperdine for clinical psychology.
Very cool.
Yeah,
What are some things like to do for fun?
So I am a poetess, I'm a writer, podcast host. I just love everything creative, arts, everything like that.
Cool. What are some things you look for in a man?
I like a man with a higher education level, wisdom, communication, understands emotional regulation.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there. That's vital.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Put your mic up. There you go.
Thank you.
And now some deal breakers.
I would say lack of just not being able to fully feel and communicate. I think that's a disruption. A man that gets weary about being out with me and understanding that I get attention and that I get looks, and I don't want no man being angry at me about that. Cause he's gonna be my man. We look good together type of shit,
Okay.
And then somebody who's just stupid. Sorry, I just can't do that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I just can't. I'm sorry.
Your preference.
But that's fine. We'll do that. Yeah.
All right. So we don't have any pop balloons. So
okay.
What's gonna happen is I'm actually switching on over to you. I'm gonna give you a pick. I'm gonna have you pop 2 balloons based off of what you're saying.
Before
so
she
far,
pops,
really
let's go to her IG before she pops.
Okay.
Let's see her IG.
If you-
Let's see her IG for a second. She's 24 years old. She got, she says she got a lot going on. I gotta say that she got a nice pair of legs, so I give her that. So we'll see what kind of time she's on in her IG, and maybe that'll give us some more insight to where her head's at, or not. We'll see. That's the makeup one. I guess we can. It's fake eyelashes, of course. Okay, she's got those shit encrusted fingernails. Oh, that's bad. Well, I don't mind a woman likes to pamper herself, so she always on the face there. So that's no problem. Okay, all right. I think we get it. I don't see anything too bad, not too revealing, but she likes the way she looks. That's for sure. That's cool. Curtis is saying pop, pop. Oh man.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay, sure.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. All right, let's head back and let's go ahead and ask these guys a question.
Okay. What do you do for work?
Okay. Name, age. What do you do for work?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Dante. I'm 25. Also a famous YouTuber and adult entertainer, and also do bodybuilding.
Adult entertainer, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let's go nonprofits.
Okay, what's the nonprofits about?
It's about helping Black people, and then I got another one where I help Black girls with my mom.
Okay,
Yeah.
understandable. We appreciate your service.
All right. Your name and age, and what do you do for work?
I'm Trey, 25. I'm a development project manager at a
There
tech
you go,
company.
Trey. It's your namesake.
Okay. Okay.
Name, age, and what do you do?
How you doing? I'm Nati. I'm 25. I'm a project engineer for a general contractor. It's my full-time gig, but I also do a little freelance estimating on the side.
And what's your freelance?
Estimating. So
Oh,
for, like,
estimating. Okay.
specialty contractors.
Oh, so you good with numbers and shit? You know your math? Okay, that's good. I don't know shit about math.
Name, age, and what do you do?
I'm Key, 28, and I own a trucking business.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
All right. He said that's it. That's good though. You're a business owner. What are you talking
We
about?
got to pop right here. Why do we end up popping?
The vernacular, I'm not too big on cussing in these spaces.
yeah,
So
that's not gonna be. Yeah, we ain't gonna work with that.
yeah, I understand.
That's okay.
Filthy motherfucker.
Shit works out. Oh man, I'm sorry.
I apologize.
Stuff works
It's
out.
okay.
It's okay.
So is he someone that's your type?
No.
Okay, why not?
That's a retaliatory no.
Okay. No, it's just like no. I love the outfit. It's cute. Honestly, for me, it's just like the physical appearance. That was it. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Here I
so
come.
based
Here
off
I
of those
come.
responses you heard, we did get a pop, so I'm gonna have you just pop just one.
Okay.
All right. So why do we end up popping his?
I love the work ethic. I love you. You sound smart. You're just physically, again, it's just not the vibe.
Okay. Is there something specific?
Just the height.
But the
That's
porn
it.
star is okay.
All right.
Thank you. You did have your balloon unpopped for her. Why so?
Yeah, she's very pretty. I like the tattoos too. I was noticing those. That's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much.
You can see
I didn't
Poppy
realize you
say
had
he's
tattoos. Can I
popping
take
his
that
balloons.
back? Can you put more air in his balloon?
Hey, Trey, you want to stop it for something?
This girl. Let's head on back. Thank you.
Okay.
No, let's continue to watch this trailer.
Okay, so we do have 3 balloons. Pop. Go
I
ahead and
do.
ask these guys another question.
Okay. What is your perspective in regards to gender roles and the expectations of a woman in your relationship? As in traditional household, how do you want your woman to be when it comes to?
All right, that's a perfect question. All right, yeehaw. All right, so naturally, I'm from Michigan. Originally, my parents both grew up together and stuff like that. You feel me? Married, raised me and stuff like that. I have my morals, my traditional, not myself. I want to have a family. I want to move back to the country and stuff like that. Have acreage, a lake, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I'm building towards right now. But for my woman, she has to be willing to let me lead and follow with suit type shit. You feel me? I want her to be able to have her own hustle. You feel me? Do whatever she wants to do and stuff like that. I want her to have her own dreams, aspirations too. But obviously, I'm going to be the man of the household and stuff like that. You feel me? So I got to be able to make the priority. You feel me and shit? But I want you to still be able to ride by my side.
Are you prepared to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've tried to do it before a few times, and a lot of women are not emotionally capable and also communicative.
Was this before or after the adult entertainment?
No, this is during as well and
During?
before. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. Good answer. Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Answer to your question.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, I'll repeat it. It's what is like your perspective and how do you perceive like your relationship and your gender roles when it comes to your woman?
I feel like in a perfect world, I want the traditional sense. I'll be able to take care of you, but shit happens, and so if I'm down, I need a helping hand. I need you to be there to be able to help me.
Okay, that's understandable.
And our last guy over here, the answer to her question.
Yeah, to answer your question, I'm more so traditional, but I am like, I do agree with teamwork. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you cooking, I wash dishes. You know what I'm saying? If you washing clothes,
They're
I'm folding
lying.
and drying
None
and
of them
whatnot.
are
So
traditional.
it's just helping each other out. That's it.
They don't even know what traditional is, probably.
If they were traditional, our Pain, all of
They
All
would've
right,
popped.
you know what
They
time
would've-
it is. It is time to
I
pop
do.
a balloon.
I got you. I got you.
It's disgusting.
Okay, let's stay right over here. Why do you end up
the
popping
porn
his?
star still in it.
Honestly, it was just first off, me having to repeat the question. Second off, then it was the answer. So I felt like you could have definitely, if you had a better answer, then I could have sidetracked that first part. But I hate repeating myself.
You're
wicked. Wicked. You're wicked.
So why did you have your balloon
You're
unpop for her?
wicked.
Is she cute? Bro?
Okay.
She's smart though. She well put together. She had a lot going on.
No, she doesn't.
All right, so we have two guys left. Guys, any
24,
questions?
man. She can grow.
This one down there. We'll be back. Come on over. Come on.
I'm scared.
All right, what's our
That's a beautiful girl, though. I definitely.
Here I come.
would approach
Here I
her.
come.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
now? Is he someone that's your type?
Our Pain, how old is the
Actually,
kid?
yeah. He's
Two.
my type. He is my type.
2 years old.
But it's okay. Can't change
Thank
that.
you. Right. And then our guy over here ended up popping as well. Why'd we end up popping?
Only because of that, man.
The
You
kid.
feel me? With traditional men, I want my woman to come pure. I don't care about the whole societal thing with the bodies and shit like that. You feel me? That I really don't give a fuck about type shit. You feel me? But it's like having to start with another person's child and shit, and the things that come with it and stuff like that. You feel me? I want to start my own family from scratch. And I had raised in a full household. My brother, sister, everybody, my parents stayed together, and you know what I'm saying. It's just I have that moral in me. I just can't. And it's I wish, but you can't change shit sometimes.
And I get that, especially with you growing up in a two-parent household. I completely understand that because that is a very valid foundation and principle on how you look on relationships. I grew up in a single mom household, so I completely understand where you're coming from, and I accept that. So that's good that you
Two-parent
know that.
household, and he
I
turned
love
out
that
to be
you
a
have your
porn
boundaries.
star, by the way.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Thank you.
We're gonna stop laughing.
Cool. Well, unfortunately, that is all the balloons popped. So we do thank you for coming on. Let's give it up for her, guys. I'll take this mic.
Hey, BMU,
Thank
hey,
you.
BMU, stop it for a second. Just stop it for a second. All right, listen. The guy, the porn star guy, right? The thing that trips me out. He's got all of these moral things. He's a goddamn porn star. I mean, what's he talking about? But one thing is consistent. Can you imagine if he worried about body count? He was at least he's consistent there. I don't care about body count, right? Because he's banging them out, whatever his porn star profession is. But this was funny. Okay, so you said something about her just by the way she's dressed.
Yeah, well, they were claiming that they were traditional men, and I'm like, well, if you're a traditional man and you're seeking a traditional woman, how she dresses and her appearance alone, just based on purely how she's dressed, should have made you pop the balloon, because that's not what you would want a traditional woman to dress. She would be more covered up than she is. It's not horrible. It's not like I've seen much. Obviously, we've seen much worse.
Of course.
But here's the thing I don't understand about women. You're trying to make an impression on a man.
Right.
And the first impression you give a man is, I'm trying to make you as rock hard as possible.
Yeah,
that's
serious.
the impression you're giving.
Yeah.
You're not saying, hey, look, I want you to get to know me for my value, my character, my brain, my intelligence, right? No, you're saying, look at my legs. She had a nice body, right?
Got some nice legs.
body.
Man,
okay,
sure.
Take me for my body. I just find it funny, and I've said this before, women don't give a damn how many people you have slept with.
No.
They don't care.
No, they don't.
And this is a prime example. The man was very honest. I'm an adult film star. And he had to pop his balloon, Payne. His deal breaker was, she got kids. So you know what I mean? Like, they don't care. This is when I hear women talking about, you can't. I'm like, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. But in the sense of the way she dressed, to your question, Payne, the way she dressed, if you're a traditional man, you are absolutely judging and sizing up a woman based on what she's wearing. You are absolutely doing that because she ultimately will be a reflection of you down the line. And it also, remember I talked about ABCs, appearance, behavior, and communication. Her appearance needs to show that she is also traditional. There's nothing traditional about what she's wearing.
Well, not only that, I mean, one of the things she told these guys, they got to be used to the attention she gets. That means she dresses for attention. She craves it. So, you know, you want to, and you know, her question about what kind of traditions you want, you know, what kind of relationship you want. I thought that was a good question, but it seemed kind of weird coming from her. You know what I'm
considering
saying?
that she's not a traditional woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why you answering these guys something that you might not even want to live up to?
But
Anyway,
here's the thing. I've told the younger guys that I mentor this: do not ever deal with women who use their body to make money in any form or fashion. If she uses her body to make, whether she's a model, whether she could be a hand model, she could be a foot model. I don't give a damn what it is. If she uses her body to make money, that is her source of income. She will be vain. She will be insecure. There's a lot of things that come. There's a lot of problems that come along with women who depend on their appearance for survival. Right? A lot of these models are jacked up in the head. They're jacked up in the head because one burger could set them back. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about, I'm serious, man. We're talking about women who are bulimic. They're making themselves vomit in bathrooms. They're not in the right headspace. Don't ever deal with a woman whose job is I use my beauty to make money. Now, if it's something she does on the side, it's a hustle, it's a hobby, something she does for fun, that's different. But if her main source of income is I use my beauty to make money, get away from her as fast as possible.
That's interesting. All right, so yeah, that's cool. And I don't know if anybody else wanted to pop up and say anything, but let's get to the third one, black man. The third one is a trip. She's got a backstory and everything else. So once she comes up, and we'll go through her, and it's an interesting thing. I'm not the third one.
Well, until he gets that ready, I'll say this too, right?
Yeah, good.
When you have women who also are psych meds, right, and they want to be psychologists or therapists or any of this other shit, run. Because typically that means their life is fucked up.
I hear you. I hear you. All right.
Okay.
I like the dress though.
Yeah. This is the end of.
All right. So with that being said, is it gonna be a yes for you for her?
Yes, Lord.
And is it a yes for you for him?
You need to do some push-ups.
No, I can see if he's from Texas or something. I feel like Southern boys wear the cowboy hats. I'm not a big fan of the cowboy hat. Y'all are so mean.
I'm comfortable in Michigan.
Anyways, next.
Name, age, and why you ended up popping your balloon.
My name is Ryan. I'm 26.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And I think you just had an unwelcoming demeanor. And that was it.
We know why. I mean, you know, everybody pop their balloon, so I might as well be honest. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I can understand why you would think I have an unwelcoming demeanor. But you're very handsome, Ryan. I love your dimples, but I'm actually very much a sweetheart. Next.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Name and age and why you ended up popping.
Chris, 27. Just because I don't do those skydiving, I'm scared of heights, and so I had problems in my past. My last girl, she was speaking with me because I didn't want to do the Superman thing in Vegas. We done broke up over that. It was bad.
Okay. And
My
you
man
said
is
your name
not
is
adventurous at all.
Chris. So you pop my balloon because you don't like skydiving.
You said you like doing adventurous stuff, skydiving. What'd you say? Jumping out of airplanes, roller coasters. I don't do that.
I mean, but she asked me what I like to do. She didn't ask you what you like to do. But I mean, I understand if you like skydiving. We could have went on a nice dinner date. You're very handsome. I love the Calabasas pants. I got a couple pair myself. I like the
can
outfit.
we pause that?
You know, I don't
Yeah,
think you,
pause
I
for a
think you're gonna
second.
regret.
Go ahead.
Are we listening? I know she's intoxicated. I get that. She's been drinking. So I don't think she's even listening to herself. The man popped the balloon because the things you like to do don't coincide with the things he likes to do.
Right.
And her selfish ass is saying, well, this ain't about you. This about me. But you're on a show to date someone. Don't you have to be compatible at some point?
She's a trip, man. She's a trip. Go ahead.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Madam President.
Popping your balloon, but I understand if you don't want to go skydiving. Everybody need a woman to get them out their comfort zone.
So now, apart from her saying, you know, the skydiving, whatever it is she someone that is your type?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And I mean, I like the demeanor. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you.
That ain't a problem with me at all. I like the demeanor.
I wouldn't make you skydive. If you said no, I would take no for an answer.
Okay.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
can follow my Instagram. I think I can get you to skydive.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel a little vibe here. You want that balloon back?
He don't gotta take his balloon back. We not begging. Let's go to the next.
We're not begging, but he looks like he's feeling you, girl. He looks like
If you don't want to skydive, I understand, but you got to get out your comfort zone. You got to explore different things. You got to enjoy your life. You young, so.
Hey, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
Hey, BMU, do me a favor, right?
gonna move on then.
Stop it for a second for the next guy, and let's go to her IG. We didn't do that with her. Let's go to her IG. Let's and hit the first video. Hit the first video.
You know, kudos to the guy who popped his. I mean, although he's an adult actor, but kudos to him for.
He got standards, right? Because it's just funny. If you go to her first one, if you can, it's a trip. Because she says she's a rapper, but I don't know if there's any copyright on that or anything. I ain't playing. That's cool.
It's probably best for all of us that it doesn't.
Yeah. Just go to some of her pictures.
Nope. I'd have popped. Nope. You pop your balloon off. See, I love Instagram. People don't like Instagram. I love Instagram because it's your resume. It's your resume. This tells me way more about her than anything.
Told me that he wasn't a trick. I told him stop it. Caught my nigga cheating, so I gave him a fake purse. Say you getting money, bitch, how would a fake purse? Say you getting money, how would a fake purse? Say you getting money, how would a fake purse? Nigga, don't block me, I'ma call you from my friend phone. I'm a bad bitch, you can't put me in the friend zone. I'm a player, bitch, pose, love me like I'm Trey Songz. I want a rich nigga, I wanna be one. I don't wanna talk money, I wanna see some.
Jesus Christ.
True that, you making noise, boy.
the lost era, man. The lost era.
She represents a large group of black women, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we can sit here and act like it. She is representative of a large group of black women, from the weave to the nails
to the eyelash,
claiming that the dress is $300 when it's probably more like $30. You know what I mean? To the whole nine. Look at her shirt.
I love like all my music is just a vibe. The inspiration really is just like.
She's trying so hard to be a rapper, and it's.
I feel like all my music is just a vibe.
Well, okay, we had enough. I think we could go back. Unbelievable. So just adding the IG to these ladies gives you a little bit perspective of where they're coming from, and so the questions they ask and how they interact. It's more consistent than how they represent themselves on their IG.
Yeah, I think more men. You should be asking for socials before phone numbers in this day and age. You should be seeing what these women, how do they purport themselves to the public?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep, there you go. It is a resume, like you said. All right, let's go.
All right, your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
My name is John. I'm 31. And I popped my balloon because you came out a little aggressive. You feel me? I like femininity. I'm not saying you not feminine, but your demeanor, maybe it's the liquor. You feel me? But
no.
And I think we from the same city, and I'm not trying to date no women from that. So.
Oh, you from Indianapolis?
From Indiana.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So first of all, what side of Indianapolis are you from?
From the east side.
What part?
Arlington.
You from Arlington, like 46?
46 in Arlington.
All right, shout out to the east side of Indianapolis.
Shout out.
If you from Indianapolis, you know why I'm like I am the way I am. I'm from the east side. I mean, aggressive is crazy. Femininity is crazy. I feel like my hair is done, my nails is done.
I'm not saying you're not feminine. I said, but you came out a little aggressive.
Did I cuss?
You was on a defensive mode.
No, I think you guys all look handsome. I'm just very like, this is my personality. I don't feel like I got to tone down for nobody, but I respect that you want somebody that maybe you can run over.
Not like that,
but you're very handsome. I love the slugs. I'm from Indianapolis. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I'm from the east side of Indianapolis. Actually, I'm from
Well, maybe
Like-
we need to link on some friendship shit. Though.
Friendship. I don't think I want to be your friend. You embarrassed me on public YouTube with 1.5 million people. But I think that if you go home and then you mention my name, I think that you'll be presently surprised. Like, I can't talk, but anyways, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I think you would actually hit me up after that. Well, you're
Shut the
very
fuck
handsome.
up.
I love a chocolate
Shut the
man.
fuck up.
Love your dreads. You look good. I like the Jordans. 10 out of 10.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to our next guy. Your name and age and why you ended up popping.
I'm Trey, 25, and I believe our temperaments would clash. The personalities that we have. I'm not a big fan of drunkenness in public. Or just the idea of it's just how it comes across. It's not. I'm not tagging you with that. I'm just saying that's how it came across at first. But that's really it. I believe you're actually beautiful.
Thank you.
You kind of favor Glorilla. That to me, that's why.
Glorilla is crazy.
I'm
I'm dark skinned. I think more like Kelly Rowland, but I appreciate the compliment.
That's fine as well.
Gracias.
But that's really it. I just believe our temperaments will clash. That's
Okay.
all.
You know who Glorilla is?
Okay.
Is he someone that's your type?
No, he's not my type.
She's a funny
You
looking
know,
chick, boy.
I just don't think I would like to be out on a nice dinner date or skydiving with somebody that wears pearls. I'm not drunk at all. A little tipsy, you know. They gave me some drinks in the back, but I feel like I'm really put together. I feel like I'm carrying myself classy. But if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. I don't like the pants. I'm gonna be honest. I think that since you're light skinned, you should have wore something a little bit more less olive. Okay, but you're handsome though.
Thank you.
Love your beard. I love the earrings. I think the gold looks.
Hold on. She called it a beard, y'all.
Yeah, I think
It's a beard now. You feel me?
I think that honestly, opposites attract. So I feel like if you feel like our temperaments would clash, I feel like you should get a little bit more confidence. I don't know. I think
you be doing. I
I think that you should maybe date somebody that is more out there and get you out your comfort zone.
I appreciate the input.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome, handsome.
Let's go over here. Your name and age and why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm so sad.
How you doing? My name is Nati. I'm 25 years old. I popped my balloon. I just didn't like the going back and forth with people. It's just not for me. That's all. But
Okay.
you're very pretty. You know.
Gracias for the compliment. Thank you. I'm not going to say it's going back and forth. Going back and forth sounds more like an argument. I feel like you guys stated your opinions about me and how you felt. And I feel like I gave you my opinions about y'all. I don't think it's going back and forth. I think that we're all adults and we should respect each other's opinions. So, I mean, if that's how you feel, that's a red flag to me. Because imagine if we didn't agree on something and I said what I said and you said what you said. Now you feel like I'm going back and forth like a kid. No, it's just we just disagree. But I respect that. I think you're very handsome. Your hair is curly. You look good. I like the shirt. Where you get it from?
My mama.
Your mom. Bless your mom. She's a great mom. It's nice. It's well tailored. No, it's real tailored. I like the gold. I like that. You look good.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let's go to our next guy. Your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
I really want to know.
Yeah, my name Key. I'm 28. Really, to be honest, man, the physical attraction just isn't there. But I was gonna give you a chance. I was gonna hear you out. You know, it's not. I mean, you don't look bad at all. But I mean, you know, you look pretty good. But then you said you rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really cool with that. And all the traveling and stuff. So like the rapping, the traveling, the being out. It's just I don't like a busy woman like that. That's doing a little bit too much. Yeah.
Okay,
And,
that's understandable.
like, pretty much, it went back and forth almost every dude up here. So I feel like we kind of a little argumentative a little bit. So like I can see us being out on a date and you going back and forth with a waiter because something ain't cooked right. Or like
Wow. So you think I disrespect civilians and people that serve other people and do their job?
these dudes civilians.
They're civilians, but they all gave their opinion on me and what they didn't like about me, and I gave my opinion about back.
But I'm just saying it was real. Like it was pretty strong. Like it wasn't really. I'm not saying you don't have class, but I'm just saying it wasn't like classy, like how you conduct yourself.
I'll wait till he's done. It's my turn.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, physical
y'all.
attraction. So what's the physical attraction? I would love for you to get in detail.
I mean, it's just not like if I seen you out in the grocery store in the mall or something, I just like. I mean, like I said, you don't look bad. I just wouldn't really approach you like that.
What's your type?
My type. I mean.
Yeah, I would love what you were physically attracted to, since you're not physically attracted to me, which I'm not really.
I mean, I like natural hair. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it real. It's not so much like.
Be honest.
You can be pretty, but like the way you carry yourself can make you. I ain't gonna say ugly, but it can. All that go out the window.
So you felt like I carried myself aggressively?
A little bit. Like I said, I don't know if it was the drinks, but it was.
No, this is how I am all the time.
It wasn't pleasant. I'll say that.
It wasn't pleasant. Do y'all all feel that way?
I don't see no balloons.
I feel like y'all. I feel like y'all intimidated. I feel like I'm a very pleasant person. I feel like I understand the physical attraction. Me too. I pay attention to detail. I feel like you're dark skin, your hair is pretty. You got a nice look to your, face, whatever.
Appreciate it.
Me personally, I wouldn't put on no Dolce Cabbanas because I feel like they played out because I'm into swag or whatever the case may be.
That's all good.
I feel like my attitude is actually very great. I feel like any man that dates me is going to be overwhelmed with me just supporting his confidence and me building him up. I feel like that if you guys don't like a woman that likes to have a conversation or maybe disagree every once in a while, then y'all should reevaluate yourself. Also, as far as you saying that I'm the type of person that you feel like if we were outside and a waitress or a waiter said that I got into with him or whatever you said. I'm sorry. I was kind of listening. I think that is very
Look how he's looking at her. He's just like, oh my God.
I don't know word. I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, I go on 5-star dinner restaurants all the time. People make mistakes. I'm not going to fault anybody or be disrespectful because they make mistakes. But if somebody says something to me, I am going to speak my mind, and then I'm going to give my man a chance to give me their opinion, and I'm going to go back.
Head on back.
You keep talking, man.
All right.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, that is all the balloons popped. But we do thank you for coming on. Let's
you.
go ahead and give it up for her, guys. I'll take this
Yeah,
mic.
yeah, stop it for a second.
Thank
you.
you. Okay, girl, you better walk.
Yeah, one of the things is these guys who have their show called Single by Choices, they were doing a reaction to her as well. And they found her live on her IG. And they got her to link up with them. So just live, right, and spontaneous, they did an interview with her on their show. And she's exactly the way she is here today. And they were trying to give us some advice because she said she wants a guy. And they said, well, if you want a guy, you can't be coming out like the way you're coming out. So they were breaking it down, and she actually started listening. But I don't think she changed anything. Because they were telling her she needs to take down her you need to take down half the shit on your Instagram. And it's still the same. She ain't taking down a goddamn thing. So
listen, we have to. I had to check to make sure my ears weren't bleeding. Like that was rough to listen to. Like I could not imagine sitting across the table from a woman like that. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like just. Be quiet. Like, okay, we get it. We get it, right? We get it. I see Take Heed here. I got it. We get it, right?
Okay.
You don't like rejection. It's obvious, right?
Right.
The guys popped the balloon. There's something about that popping of the balloon that triggers something in people, right? And they got to go back at you. I get it.
Yeah.
I think that's also a part of the show. I think that's the beauty of the show, the underlying of the show, which makes it trash TV, right? But I noticed she didn't address anything about the men and their character or morals. Everything she addressed was physical and superficial. I don't like this. I don't like this shirt. I don't like the pearls. I don't like the shoes. I don't like the pants. Your hair is curly. Everything was superficial, which lets me know there is no depth to her, much like her rapping. There is no substance to it at all. Right? And I don't understand these guys. Like you can be as fine as you want to be. I mean, you can be fine. If when you open your mouth and begin to speak, I cringe, like, ugh, like I have to listen to that. Like, I don't give a damn how fine you are. You gotta go. Because here's the thing, at some point in time, for all the married people, when you're 70 plus years old and she ain't that fine no more, your voice ain't changed. I still gotta listen to that voice. And if I cringe within the first 5 minutes of meeting you, I'm for damn sure gonna be cringing when we 70 years old.
If you're still together.
Right. I want to give this to women. Sometimes you need to ask somebody, how do I sound when I talk? Like, what do I sound like? Do I sound annoying? Do I sound nagging? Do I sound aggressive? Do I sound dominant? How do I sound? Because most times we can't hear ourselves. Right? We don't know what we sound like to other people. I think a lot of women need to take that and listen to it, because most times, like her and even the last girl, like towards the end, I'm like, God, I just make it stop. Like, like it hurts. It hurts to listen to.
Hey, Take Heed, how you doing? You know what's funny? How you doing, Take Heed? I hear you up there. The one thing though, on her IG, her baby's father came on He said, "I'm glad all those guys popped their balloons, so maybe you'll get humble." You know, he told her straight up, and she put that out live. It was pretty funny.
Also, she also said one thing about femininity. I think that women, the modern woman today, thinks that feminism is just having long hair and wearing a dress and putting makeup on and eyelashes. I think they think that giving the appearance of a woman is what exudes femininity, much like in masculinity, it has nothing to do with how you look, rather than how you carry yourself and the actions and the morals and the things you stand for. I don't think she has any idea what femininity is, which is why she was offended by the man who said, "Hey, I don't think you're feminine at all," because she immediately went to, "I did my hair, I did this," but that ain't got nothing to do with feminine. I know ugly women who are very feminine.
Feminine, yes, exactly.
Very feminine.
Yeah.
That's true. It's not just because of the way you dress or your hair. But Ebony K said it best. She said, "I dress just like this because I'm very masculine."
Nah. So what's going on, Takey? How you doing? What's your take on everything?
I knew she was ghetto when she first walked in. I had watched a clip of her a couple of days ago, so I was like, and I only saw a small, bit, little piece of the video on IG, and I was like, nah, she on demon time, because how do you go to a dating show and you start drinking up, you tossing the drinks back? It doesn't make sense. You're trying to make you're trying to make an impression on these gentlemen, and then you pissy drunk. She was drunk. I don't care what nobody say. She was rocking and everything. Her dress had a spot on it. Sister girl was drunk, and she was ghetto. I knew she was ghetto from the beginning. I was like, nah, this girl, she's some hood chick. So when y'all went to her IG, I was falling. I was in the kitchen doing the dishes, and I heard it in my earpiece. I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, for sure, man. These I guess these pop the balloon shows are easy reaction shows. I mean, they give you enough content to say, what the hell's going on here, so you could pick them apart. So I give Arlette some credit for that. I think she's reaping the benefits of all that stuff as well.
Arlette is starting to be like Maury. She's starting to be like Maury. Because Maury get the most ratchet people on his shows. And she's starting to get all these ratchet people. And you know what's the messed up part? It's all the women that's ratchet. Ain't none of the brothers coming up here looking crazy like that. I'm sorry. It's not a lot of them coming up here looking crazy.
I don't know, Takey. Being a porn star might be a little ratchet.
No, that was ratchet. That was ratchet. He stood there. He stood there strong. He stood there strong, like he knew what he was doing.
A porn star. I mean, but that's so funny. Just the way he acted, though. He's like, I'm a porn star, but I want all these traditional things, man.
He was proud. He was proud.
I'm a proud voice. Hey, okay. So, what did you think about the women's reaction to him? He didn't get any minus points for that at all. So, what do you think about that, Takey?
Oh, because women don't care about how many bodies a man have. They don't care.
That is true.
They don't care. It's only men that worry about that. But there's a reason why they worry about it.
Of course there is.
Because y'all already know.
That's right.
Because you have to conquer. The man is the one that is the conqueror. The woman is not. So she's the one that gets tossed up and flipped up and rubbed down and all that. So I understand. But yeah, we don't care about that. If he got, this is the sad part. If he got 11 baby mamas, we want to be number 12. Some of us women want to be number 12. It's sad. It's sad.
That's another conversation.
I read something that said, don't let a woman's past ruin your future. Ooh. And that has a lot to do with why there's such a thing about how many men a woman has slept with versus how many women a man has slept with. You know what I mean? Like, it has a lot to do with how it can affect you going on down the road. And I mean this when I say this, like, a lot of these women are truly jacked up mentally. Like, they really are. They're jacked up when it comes to, whatever's happened to them when they were children, having sex at an early age, how many partners they had by the time they graduate college. All that stuff affects them. And if you get with the wrong woman at the wrong time, that could affect your future as a man because she was never right from the beginning mentally. And so when we see these women that come on these pop the balloon shows, within the first 5 seconds, you can assess she's not right mentally.
I'll tell you something. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you something. Once I hear a woman talk, I don't have to see what she looks like. I don't have to see how she's dressed or nothing. I could just hear how she talks, and I got her. Just like that, I already know where to put her. Once I hear her voice and her tone, just like all this nonsense that's going on with Mathis right now with his wife. I was like, wait a minute, did Mathis do something wrong? And then I had went to go check the IG. And I heard his white voice, and I was like, "Oh shit, this an alpha female right here." That's why all this shit rocking out like this. She's an alpha female, well, even though alpha female doesn't exist, but masculine female. That's what she is. And when I heard it, I was like, "Oh damn!" And the thing is that 39 years after being married. And then you decide, you know what I'm saying? Like you rocked it out for 39 years and then boom, I'm ready to throw it all away. It sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear women, all I got to do is just hear their voice, not even look at them, don't see what they got on. Once I hear, I can place you in a category. Like when people first meet me, you will place me in the alpha female category. You will place me in the masculine female category when you first meet me. And then when we start talking, you'll be like, damn, take heed is submissive. Where'd she get that from? And then I'll bring up my husband, and then you'll be like, damn, that's where she got it from. So yeah, it's the way you talk that will lead you somewhere. It'll put you somewhere. That's it. That's
the only thing I would say is, and that's just me, I think it's just my own personal pet peeve, because I think we'd have to go back to all my video. I very seldom call women masculine, even when they act rough. Mm-hmm. I don't believe the absence of femininity makes a woman masculine. It makes them something else. I don't think women know how to wield masculinity. They might have some characteristics. So I just look at, if you lack femininity, that doesn't mean you're filling it with masculine traits. It means you're filling it with something else that's outside of your nature. And so that's how I look at it. So I mean, we can mince words on it. It's easier to just say they're masculine, but I don't want to denigrate masculinity by saying that's what a woman says. But that's just me. I have my own philosophy. It helps me think about it in the right way.
I hear you.
But I'm not going against what you're saying though. But
no, it's okay. I understand.
But just
you tripping, bro.
Well, hold on. I don't think that's masculinity.
Be nice.
What exactly would she be if she's not feminine? Because
she's something else, man. She's just outside of her nature.
Something else. Let's define something else. Because what I'm seeing is that they are voluntarily taking on masculine traits.
Facts.
So what I understand what you're trying to say. Like maybe it's inadvertent. Maybe it's not intentional, but they are purposely taking on masculine traits, which by de facto would make them masculine.
No. I hear what you're saying. I'm saying that what they're wielding, they call masculinity because it's easier. But most men don't behave like they do when we exude our masculinity. I just think that when men are naturally masculine, we're not repulsive. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
When you put it like that, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's fake masculinity because
but I hear what you're saying. It's missing words on my part. So
I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying, Payne. I ain't trying to start no trouble with you. This your show. I ain't trying to start no trouble.
I'm trying to start some trouble. That's why they call me up here to take heed to start some trouble.
And that's I don't call a little bit back and forth doesn't bother me at all. That's what we're here for. Can
I say this, Payne?
Yeah, go ahead.
Take Heed made a point today earlier on her show. She was talking about projects. And with this Pop the Balloon show, I see project after project after project
Ooh.
after project. Like
Okay.
these women are so far from where they need to be
Absolutely.
that it's gonna take, like, you're gonna have to put in some work to get these women where they need to be. 24 and with a kid, you got to put in some work. You know what I'm saying? However old she was, and she was a rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way she getting drunk before she publicly goes out publicly, you got to put in some work to get her where she is. And the problem is that everybody might not be receptive to that work.
Absolutely. Most guys probably won't unless they're desperate. Let me. When we mention her, the ladies being young, you know, if you're ever familiar with Medium Man, have you ever seen any of his channel? He does a lot of stats, right? And he always has receipts with his stats. So he looked up this stat from 2015 to 2019. They had a study of unwed pregnancies. So he said and he showed the stat that showed black women, specifically that white women, black women, Hispanic women, whatever, Native American, whatever. He said by 24, 77% of black women had a baby. By 24, 24. By 20, it was 43%. And by 24, it was 77%. In contrast to black men, by 20, it was 14%. By 24, it added up to like 50%. So, and that's still kind of high, but
it's better than the women, though.
But 77%?
That's nasty.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 is a lot.
That's a lot, man. And then he had all these stats, and he has his, I don't know if it's Pew, it was anything else. And then I just thought, you know, and I said this before, and, you know, a lot of times is what we tell our kids, men and male and female. But by the time a woman is 30, and this is why, you know, whether you ask for a body count or not, they have so much trauma, right? And then I tell guys and I tell the ladies, you hear your souls on TikTok, you hear your souls everywhere else. You have so much trauma, and all of their trauma leads to the tip of a man's penis. All of it. I mean, if you break down all of this shit we hear on social media from women on how bad shit is, if you peel the onion back, it all goes down to the tip of a man's Johnson. Some man's Johnson. You know, and it's you know, so it's not like we're telling them that, you know, we don't want you to have sex. We're just telling you, listen, you guys, when you overdo it, you blow your circuits. You're blowing your circuits. You know, and I said, in contrast, I want one of you ladies to find a man at 30 saying, oh man, I have so much sex, I don't know what to do. Oh man, my life is ending. You never hear no goddamn men say that. You know what I'm saying? So we got some natural things that are different between us, and people keep trying to fight that shit.
But those soul ties are real. The soul ties are so real. I'm sorry, Payne.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The soul ties are so real because you got to remember they letting these guys skeet in them, and you got different, you know, different body fluids running up inside of you, and a lot of these women don't understand that these same body fluids, these things stay in your body for a lifetime. Some of them parts of these people stay in your body for a lifetime when you don't protect yourself, you know. And these girls run out here. I was just watching a video today that I had posted where the young woman said that the body count, you can't count this as a body if you're using a condom. He's still exercising on you, baby. That doesn't make sense. Where did you get that from? And so a lot of the young women, they're broken. They have been through some shit. And this is why I always say it's the choices of the mama. You know, a lot of these things stem back from the choices of their mama that put them in these predicaments. Because if the choice of the mama was wise, there will be a man raising this child. There will be a man in this child's life. A lot of people always say 2-parent homes don't matter. But I'm going to share something with you. It gives that child an advantage. It gives that child an advantage. Our oldest daughter is in college right now, right? So she got a girl that's in the room with a Caucasian girl. First day, this girl on the bed with a boyfriend and everything, laying in the dorm room. And our daughter like, Mama, we just got here. We just got here, Mama. She was like, what is going on? I told her, Mama, you cannot complain. Y'all grown now. Just leave. Her boyfriend come. Just go to the front. Go to the front of the house and sit up there and relax. You know what I'm saying?
Make some rules.
That's it. I told her go to the counselor, tell them, and it is what it is. And she tells me, Mama, this girl, we just got here. And as I was trying to get into the room, I heard some noise and I said, did you close the door? She said, yeah, I closed the door, Mama. But wow, I said, well, it is what it is. You just understand that you were raised with the understanding that if you come home pregnant, we're going to have a problem. That's all I told her. She said, I ain't come here for that. I came to get my education. I said, it is what it is, baby. You better listen. But this is the thing that our girls don't understand, that when you out here fucking all these men, when you out here fucking all these men, you become broken. They don't understand that. They don't understand that. That's the problem right there.
Let me ask you something, Take Heed. Is it that they just don't understand or they don't care? Because there's a difference.
No, you know what I believe it is? It's not that they don't care. It's that they have been exposed to some shit when they were young. So they think it's right. And also, Mama got a lot to play in it too. I know back in my time, what used to get us when we were young is that your mama would tell you that you gotta, when you go outside, don't come back with just a wet ass, you know. When you go out on a date.
Yeah.
So if your mama is messed up, most of the time you're gonna grow up messed up too.
Oh, I agree with that.
Most of the time you're gonna grow up messed up too, and you're gonna have some issues. Like when I tell people, I be like, the stuff I know I took my king through when we first got married. I shake my head. I wake up sometimes and kiss him and I tell him thank you. Because if this man never would have took a chance on me, baby, I'll be like some of these YouTubers up here crying, talking about that I need a man and shit. I'll be in trouble. Because I know how my character was. I know how I behaved. And I'm going to share something with you. My husband is the only man that I have ever bowed to before on my knees. On my knees. And I ain't saying sucking his dick. I said on my knees. Now, I don't mind doing that, but I'm just saying on my knees.
I understand.
Saying I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? First man I have ever bowed to and said, I'm sorry. And so I have so much respect for my husband. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. I take him at he's such on a top level in my mind. It's crazy because how he loved me in spite of all my wrongs. You know what I'm saying? In spite of everything that I went through. And I think if he never would have took a chance on me, I'd be up here crying, talking about I need a man, I need something. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. But it's crazy how we encourage these young ones to be out here talking about go through your whole hoism phase and all this. And the thing is, the women who are encouraging them, you want them to be broken because you was broken. Yeah. These older women that encourage them to be in a hoism phase is because you were broken and you want these young women to be broken too. And yeah. And if my words mean anything to any young woman, I would tell them to wait. I would tell them to get everything you need to get and pay attention to the men that you're dating. And stop trying to go for the man who everybody want to be his friend. Go for the one that will be at a party and he'll be sipping on something in the corner. That's the true king. The one that's loud mouth and all ghetto and everybody want to be around him. That's the jester. And I'm done.
No,
Yeah,
no, I hear you.
I would tell my daughter, go for the guy who's not at the party.
I
Go
like
for the guy.
that
Go
too.
for the guy who's at home studying.
I like that
Go for
too.
the guy who's delaying gratification and doesn't
Hmm.
see the benefit of a party. Would rather study so that he can build something in the future. Here's the thing. I'm going to have to disagree with Take Heat on this one just a little bit. I do believe that they don't care, but the fact of the matter is that majority of the young women have not gone through anything. When we look at the statistics, they really haven't gone through anything. Now, we're not saying that it hasn't happened. It obviously has happened. And then there's obviously underreporting, right? There's a lot of girls who just don't say anything, right? We know that. But it's still not the majority of young women. The majority of young women haven't really gone through anything other than the fact that life was kind of hard in high school and they had to deal with some mean girls. So they're making some choices here, right? And the fact of the matter is they just flat out don't care. The need to be popular, the need to fit in, the need to impress other girls is what's killing them inside. This is why social media is so horrible for a lot of them, because they're just competing with each other. And then they don't realize that you're competing for a man. Now you try to say, oh, I'm not competing for a man. Yes, you are. Y'all are all competing against each other to get a certain type of man. Y'all are all fighting over the 1% man. And it ain't but a handful of them out here. Right? So they know better, because a lot of these kids are growing up in situations where, yeah, even both parents aren't in the home, both parents are active. Right? A lot of these college students, mama and daddy both dropping them off at college, right? They know better. They just don't give a shit. They're finally free. They have an opportunity to do whatever the hell they want to do, and they're going to do it. Damn the consequences. Damn the consequences. I don't care. I'll deal with that later. There's birth control. There's terminations. There's plan B. There's this. There's that. There's all kinds of stuff. I'll be a generation of women who don't give a damn about the consequences. Yeah, don't give a damn about the consequences, and then are only going to complain about the consequences after they come.
Absolutely. And so that's my other conversation, though. Even when I talk about dick discipline or women being a little bit more virtuous, these conversations always have to be consequence driven, because that's the way you get the point home. If you want to do this or you want to do that, here's the consequences of your actions. Now, once you understand the consequences, if you continue to do the bad deeds, at least you know what you're getting into. And that goes for the guys in terms of men who understand that they shouldn't be sleeping with woman A because of the consequences. And just like women shouldn't be letting boy B, go raw. I mean, people actually know what they're doing when they do it, but the consequences are not on the forefront of their head. They're just in the moment. And we got too many people who are living in the moment. And they let their biology drive them, And that's why, and I'm gonna just say this real quick. That's why in the past, culture, social shame and mores, and the way the laws all worked, they used to work in favor of people being together under certain conditions. Marriage was up, we didn't have no fault divorce. Women voluntarily were a little bit more virtuous. They might have had sex once or twice, but they still, knew how to say no to the majority of men who came across them, and they didn't have social media to compete with each other on such a grand scale. And so we've fallen prey where everything went apart, and all we have left is biology. And I'll just tell you this: the biology stuff is, when I say that, is when you put women in men prisons and act like just because you got some stupid laws that say if you sleep with the males, you're going to get fired. That's just not stopping nobody from having sex. Or if you put men in a woman's prison, they're going to have those women in a trick bag. You want an extra pair of socks? You got to give me some, some guac at midnight. That shit's going on all over the place. There should be no men in women's prisons, and there should be no women in male prisons, because the natural thing takes over. And that's why we have all that shit. We got so many reports. It goes underreported, by the way, on how much sex is going on in those prisons with the guards and the inmates when you have those gender kind of situations. So, and that's just a natural thing because biology takes over. That's what God intended. Men, you put men and women together, we're gonna
It's
stroke.
gonna be some fucking.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You know, that's the way it is. Anyway, so that's just my little thing of how I tie it all together, you know. And I think, you know, a lot of times we just, in order to curtail some of that, we got to bring back culture. You got to bring back shame. You got to also talk about consequences of your actions. And when you could get through the person, you get through a person based on them actually respecting that if they put themselves in the consequence trick bag, that's not good for their lives. If you have a baby and you're out of wedlock, whether you want to agree with it or not, the kind of guys you're going for are not as available to you anymore. And
But you know what? I'll share something with you. The young men are waking up though now.
I was gonna say that too. Go ahead.
I'm loving that because even our son, who was a teenager, he was like, "Mom, I don't care what these women here in America do. He was like, I'm not gonna marry no baby mama. I'm not doing it. I want my own foundation. I want my own bloodline. I don't want to raise another man's bloodline." And I love what he said. And me and my husband just looked at him, like smiled at him. And he was like, "I'm not trying to be mean, Mom, because you was a baby mother. But you know, my daddy went through a lot raising, you know, trying to raise your son. And it was a lot, you know, Mom." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." He was like, "And I just don't want that. I want my own children in my house. I want to be married. And I don't want to have nobody coming and knock on the door talking about they coming to see their kid and all this stuff." And he's a teen. He's a teen saying that.
That's
and
good.
I love that because now if the men start saying that, the women will have to wake up because there's nobody there to save you. They're going to have to wake up. These younger women will have to because nobody wants to be a stepfather. And I don't blame men for saying that. When men come to my channel and they say, "I don't want to be a stepfather," I do not blame them for that. But I will say this to them. If a woman has a mindset change, if she has those children or child with boundaries and the baby daddy has boundaries and she wants change and she wants to be obedient to this man that is her husband, then yes. Well, not her husband, not the husband yet, but when you're meeting her and you're dating and everything is going well and she wants to listen to you and she sets those boundaries, and if she doesn't while you're dating, don't take no chance. Walk out. That's enough.
I have a question for you though, Take Heed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself a unicorn?
Oh no. Oh,
you think there's a lot of women out there like you who have kids that became so submissive to their husband? You think there's a lot of okay, let me put it this way. Well, yeah, just the way I'm putting it. You think there's a lot of women who are coming with baggage or coming with children who have cleaved to their husbands or stepdaddies the way you have to your husband? Give me a percentage. How many? 10%? 5%?
Yeah, I don't even know, or Payne. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you. I think our link, me and my husband link.
It's unusual.
My king always tell me, "Oh wow, he got the stat." I didn't even know.
I don't think that's
1.4%. I'm serious. I mean, you know, how many percentage of women like that?
I'm laughing because my king said to me that our relationship, our marriage was ordained. He always tell me, "I talked to God about you, so I knew you was supposed to be my wife." So
Okay.
I'm just laughing at that because even though all the stuff I took this man through, he continued to push because God told him I was supposed to be his wife. You know what I'm saying? And so he told me, and now mind you, I always tell people about my past with my husband and the relationships he had before me. I always tell people, you know, my husband is a Nigerian, so my husband is well traveled. He's been around, he's traveled a lot. And so he has met different women, beautiful women. I see the pictures that he dated these women and stuff like that. And my king was in his 30s when he met me.
Okay.
So the thing is that I always say to him, all these women and you didn't see wife in them. And he told me no. He said, but when I met you, I knew you were supposed to be my wife. So I thank God. That's it. But this is the one thing that he did tell me. He told me in our next life, this is what he said. In our next life, he believed this. He said, in our next life, don't you be no baby mama. You better wait for me. So I always laugh at that when he tell me that. But that's it. That's it.
Well, okay, I know. Maybe
Can I say something about, because you guys bring up shame, and the problem with the shame is that it has to be followed with a consequence. You cannot effectively shame anybody if it is not immediately, swiftly followed with a consequence. So I had to ask the Black community, are you prepared to kick some people out your family? Are you prepared to kick your daughter out your family? Are you prepared to kick your son out of your family? I remember watching Fresh and Fit. There was a girl on there. She was from Saudi Arabia, and she had an OnlyFans page. And they were asking her, about how did her family feel, specifically her dad, about her OnlyFans page. And she broke down in tears and said they kicked her out the family. Are you prepared to kick her out of the family?
Yeah, no, you're right. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Are you prepared to go to that length? Because what I saw from that girl was shame. And she was shameful in her behavior because there was a consequence. The consequence was, don't bring your ass around here no more. You're not allowed to come around here anymore because you have shamed the family. You have shamed the last name. We didn't raise you to be that way. So you gotta ask Black folk, is that what y'all prepared
No,
to do?
the answer is no.
If the answer is no, stop talking about shame. If you're not willing to kick your own daughter, your own son out of the family, don't talk to me about shame.
Or Trey, or say what you just said. If you're going to talk about shame, you got to talk about the consequences of those shame and be prepared to do it. And maybe some people might start doing that. Right? I mean, we all have certain people in our families, I know I do, that we don't talk to, that we don't hang out with, that I would never lend my car to, or you know what I'm saying, or money to, because of the way they behave and the way the things they do. So it's not like it would be something that's so foreign. But when you talk about your own daughter, your own son, and things of that nature, yeah, that's a good point. But I don't think it should be stopped.
Tough, don't it, Payne?
Yeah, it does. You can't admit it, but I don't think we should stop thinking about it. I'm just thinking, hey, can I get to myself where there's a position where there's something that my kid could do that I said, well, you could no longer be a part
when
of
I was
it.
in the military, when I was in the Air Force, if you got a DUI, they made you stand at the front gate with this big sign on that said, I got a DUI. They embarrassed you. There was a consequence, right? You was on what we call Rod Squad. So you was picking up trash and pulling weeds. There was a consequence, right? There has to be a consequence. If that 14, like that video we saw of the dad who kicked the 14-year-old out because she was pregnant again, there has to be a consequence. No, you got to go. You got to get your ass up out of here. Because the way I'm trying to lead you, you don't want to go. You don't want to go there. You're rebelling. You're doing everything in your power to rebel against what I'm trying to create for you. You don't want it. So you got to get the hell up out of here.
No, they won't do a trade, because I'm going to share with you why. Judge ye not, and ye shall not be judged. And who is without sin, cast the first stone. Black people, we live by the Holy Bible, and they going to go by that scripture alone. We only go by certain scriptures when we want to push a narrative. And then everything else in the Bible we have forgotten about. But that's what they're going to use. So no, it won't work. It won't work. That's why I say you got to do the work in your own home first before you come out and try to teach the masses. You got to change what's in your house first. That's how you change the world. People always think you come out here and you trying to change people. You got to change your own house first. It's the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson said it, even though it was a good song, but it was the man in the mirror that you got to change first. And that's how the world changed. That's it.
Yeah, well, we in dire straits. We're in dire straits, man. It's like
we have Schitt's Creeks with no mirrors.
Yeah, but I don't know how we get past the 77% child rate and and it's like a lost generation, pretty much.
I told you what we got to do.
Yeah. You know, and then you can only kind of try to save the ones who are coming up who might have a different mindset.
I told you, start over. It's almost perfect, Payne.
Yeah.
Generation Alpha. It starts with the letter A. A is at the beginning of the alphabet. Let's just start over and try again.
Yeah, but the message to them has to be different than the message to the Z's and the millennials.
And not only does it have to be different, it has to be honest and transparent.
That's right. Exactly.
You cannot lie to these kids. These kids aren't stupid.
Oh,
you know, I was on Grown Ass Women one night, and we're talking about the kids were too young for things. And I'm like, that's the problem. Yeah. We keep thinking, you know, there's a 15-year-old boy from Ethiopia that created a soap that repels against cancer. He's 15. These kids ain't too young for nothing. Give it to them. Teach them so they have the information. You're either going to be honest and transparent with these kids to make them better. At 8 years old, I'm sitting down with my daughter. If this happens, we need to know. These things need to know. Well, 8's too young. No, it's not. No. Girls are having periods as early as 9. 8 is not too early. Absolutely. You got to start having these conversations with the kids, even though they're young. And it may make, and a lot of the problem is Payne, it's the parents who are uncomfortable.
That's right.
They're the problem.
That's where it's at.
They don't want to have a conversation.
That's exactly where it's at.
I tell you right now, I didn't get a birds and bees talk. I got it. You better not bring no girl home pregnant. I didn't even understand my mom. What are you talking about pregnant? How do I get a girl pregnant? You didn't even teach me none of this. I don't even know. We gotta start having honest conversations. I took a banana and a condom, gave it to my son, and said, "Listen to me. This is how this goes down. Because you about to start feeling some things you ain't never felt before."
That's
we
right.
need to start having some real conversations with these young kids, but we're refusing to do that. And now they're relying on Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and Sexy Red and Ice Spice to give them information that these fools didn't even get.
Right. No, but that's a good point. You got to, like I said, you got to mention all of that. You got to be honest. And it's funny when we were talking about a few shows ago about the consequences of de-discipline. Two things that when a men talking to young guys, you got to be honest that if you're 40 years old, my age, it's hard for me to tell a 20-year-old, get on your grind, forget about the women. And he'll look at me and say, well, you didn't have sex when you was in your 20s. I mean, so what did you do? What did you do when you was in 20s? You never went raw? You never had those weeks where you're waiting for the phone call from the chick who said, it came, my period actually came.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to tell them that shit.
You got to be honest.
Yeah, you got to be honest. Yeah. So,
can I
so from that standpoint, and then you can say the consequence. Go ahead.
No, can I tell you what my uncle did to my cousin to get her to understand that if she got pregnant, it was all on her. He put books in her hands, both her hands. He made her hold both the books. He said, right now, y'all even. He said, if you get pregnant, he just started taking books out of the boy's hand and putting it in her hand. And her hand just started doing like this. It just started leaning. He said, if you get pregnant, all of it's going to fall on you. We have got, and I said this before, this is the one thing where I will back women up to the day I die. Everything's going to fall on y'all.
Yeah.
So you got to make a better decision because at the end of the day, you're going to get stuck with the baby. You're going to carry that baby for 9 months, right? Mm-hmm. If you decide to terminate the pregnancy, that's on you. And all that mental anguish and anxiety and all the psychological trauma that comes along, that's on you. It ain't on him. He's going to be fucking your best friend by next week. Right. All of this falls on you.
Exactly.
Right? So if it all falls on you, we have got to teach these young women, you have got to be more responsible, right? And you've got to be able to put your feelings to the side because that's how a lot of these young girls are getting in trouble because it's about how they feel. If you listen to the girls that was on the Pop the Balloon, all of them started every sentence with, I feel like, I feel like, I feel like. Everything's about how they feel, which will lead you down the wrong path. And conversely, we got to teach young men, you ain't shit if you do this. And we're going to kick you out of the society of men if you are running around getting a bunch of girls pregnant. We don't want you. We don't want you around. You are a bad look for men, especially black men. There has to be consequence on both sides. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, God made it that way. All of this falls on y'all. It falls on y'all. It's unfair. I would agree it's unfair. It's not right. But at the end of the day, it's going to be you at 2 a.m. You and your mama up at 2 a.m. feeding that baby.
But only in the black culture you see all this fucked up like this.
No, not
all the other cultures is not as crazy. as ours
That part
is. 80% now, they got baby mamas in all these other cultures too, but ours is at 80%. That's a problem there. But
because
nobody is thinking, oh nah, these men, they got money to be taking care of these kids and they rich and this and that and all this. Listen, I keep telling people Pookie and Ray Ray can be in any tax bracket. Okay. That doesn't mean he's a bad father. It just means that he out here doing his shit. He's slinging that's community dick. Everybody getting that community dick. And if the woman out here having 7, 8, 10 babies, that's community pussy. She giving away that pussy to everybody, and she got a baby every time she get out here fucking. So this is the thing. We uplift ratchetness. We don't check nobody on this foolishness. And if you say something, oh no, it's my business, but then you're the same one coming to social media crying, talking about nobody wants me because I got too many kids. One woman said, I'm 20 something years old and I got 6 children, and nobody wants me.
But you know what? But see,
what you think?
You know what? Take heed. What you said is true about the Black community. And when they used to say that when everybody else has a cold, we have pneumonia, this is another one of those situations. But in our community, if you look at the Black American community, everything has been stripped away. Culture has been stripped away. I mean, if you ever listen, I guess sometimes y'all listen to Crimson Cure, right? She talks about biology, cultural, and environmental factors that shape the way people behave. And in our culture, all that's left is biology. There is no cultural anything about that you could stand on or build on. There's no the environmental, when you talk about laws and society, most of Black folks vote liberal. That means any fucking thing goes. That means there's no governors at all. And so we're out here alone. Say that again. What you gonna say?
But we know right from wrong.
No. Hold on first. Before you say that, no one right from wrong means that you really respect the consequences. In our community, I think consequences come from having those other two components. From biology, just looking from your biological urges as a natural man or a natural woman, I'm convinced that women have babies because they're naturally geared to do that. And men want to have sex with women because God gave us a natural inclination to spread our seed. And those things need to have social and cultural governors to make us think about the consequences of just going willy-nilly. And in our community, all that shit's gone. All of it is gone. And the way we vote also is indicative that the fact is we don't want it back. Especially, I'm going to say this, Black women and the sycophantic Black men who follow them. You know what I'm saying? So, because if we did, we wouldn't be voting for a person who actually is a champion for all the debaucherous shit in the whole world. We wouldn't be doing it just out of policy. So I'm just saying, I don't know how we're going to get it back, but if we keep running on biology, that's all we are. We're like wild animals in the field.
Exile.
Who is the candidate you talking about? You got to say the name now. You got to say the name, damn it. You got to say the name.
Oh, Kamala Harris.
All right then, say the name.
Okay, I said it. There you go.
We fix it, Payne. through exile.
Woo-hoo.
Some people in this community got to go.
Trey right about that.
They gotta go.
Trey right.
You are not contributing in a positive manner to this community. We don't need you. Right? And I know that sounds harsh, but that's how you fix this. Other communities, they don't play this shit. They don't deal with this shit. You're not doing what we tell you to do. These cultural governors, and I'm glad you hit on that. These cultural governors, these biological governors, if you go above them, you're out of here. You're gone. We don't want you here. Muslim cultures, right? You're out of here. You're out of the family. Don't come back. You see, if you talk to, when I was in the military, I had some Italian friends. And I always found it funny. They was always said they was raised by their grandmother or their aunt, but it was never their mama and dad. I'm like, what is going on there? Because at some point in time when they were in high school, they did something that shamed the family. And Pops kicked them the fuck out. You gotta go. So they wouldn't live with grandma. They wouldn't live with auntie. Right? Because Dad said you have brought shame to our name. Take Heed was talking about that on the show about the name. We've gotten so far beyond name. It's hurting us. That your last name don't mean anything. I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to disrespect my family name. Hell, we used to have a family crest. Everybody had a family crest. We don't have that no more.
We do. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm saying that's all.
No, you're right though. I hear you. You're right.
Like kids weren't taught. Kids aren't being taught. Don't fuck up the name. The name means something. You don't have to be a Clinton or an Obama or a Bush or a Kennedy for your name to mean something. Your name means something just purely in the community that you live in. Don't fuck it up. And if you do, you're out of here.
Here's the consequence. Yeah, I mean, listen, I guess that's even tied to when men stop asking their wives to take their last name.
I don't mean like Kamala? I don't think like
Kamala?
Stop asking.
Well, when women told, you're right. When women told them, I'm not taking your last name. Yeah. It started with this. Let's leave the. You know what? That's just bullshit, man. Don't get me started. Don't get me started, goddammit. I'm not going down this path. If you say so, let me just leave it there. But you're right, Take Heed. If you're going to say women decided they're not going to take their husband's last name, as opposed
we
to
got a vice president who's running for president, didn't take her husband's last name.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, this is the direction we're going down.
That's right. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know how to fix it.
In my last relationship, we had a conversation about getting married, and I said, well, you ready to change your name? And when she said, well, I think I should hyphenate it, conversation was over. There's nothing else to talk about. I knew what I was dealing with right then and there. I was like, oh no, hyphenate. Well, I want to, because her father had passed away, right? So I want to keep my dad's name alive. And I said to her with a straight face, looked her dead in her eyes and said, that's not your responsibility. You have an older brother. That's his responsibility.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I knew right then and there, I can't marry her mind. I can't marry her. She's talking about hyphenating. You don't want to be a part of the team. Everybody else is not going to have would you want to hyphenate our daughter's last name too? Absolutely not.
Not.
Absolutely not.
No way. Yeah, absolutely.
There's no way
not.
that's happening. Right? So on the one hand, we got women who, listen, women going to push boundaries. That's what they do for a living. They're going to test you.
True.
You as a man have got to stand firm, stand strong, firm up your back and stop being spineless and tell her ass, no, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Yep. And if you don't like it, let me walk you to the door. Because I can get another you. You can't get another me. We got a lot of men out here that are weak and they let this shit happen.
Absolutely.
And then you want to come on YouTube and complain and cry among the women. Nah, bruh. You weak.
You
let it happen. Because I expect for any woman that I date to test me. I expect it.
Yeah.
I expect for her to do some dumb shit. I expect for her to show up late. I expect for her to not call me back within. I expect her to try to push my limits, to see what she can get away with. And I nip that shit in the bud immediately. And if she don't want to get with the program, thanks for coming.
Right.
You can grab your t-shirt and your bottle on the way out.
I just want to say this little tidbit. I'll share this with you. I think when a woman, when she's ready, she has accepted the ring and she wants to marry, her last name from her father, okay, that she received from her father, or either nowadays it'll be from the mama, okay, that's your motherfucking name. That's not your name. When you get ready to marry, that is not your name. That name doesn't belong to you. If you receive your name from your mama, that name is not your name. Your true name is your husband's name. Everything else must drop. I'm sorry. This is how it's supposed to be. If you respect and love your husband, you're supposed to take his last name. It shouldn't be no hyphenated shit. It shouldn't be, I still keep my father's name. You didn't marry your daddy, did you? You didn't marry your daddy. That name should not be there anymore. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with loving your daddy, But damn it, the truth is the truth. That name should not be there anymore because you are a part of your husband's foundation. So his name is supposed to be respected at all times. And I think a lot of our women in America, they don't understand that. Because African women, an African woman, if you tell an African woman she got to drop her name because she about to get married, she gonna add on some more shit on her name. If her husband is a sergeant, she gonna add on sergeant, her name, and then his last name. And African women, they take the middle name of the husband too. So it's her name that she was given. First, she put sergeant in the first. Her name she was given, his middle name, and then the last name. She take his whole name. She take his whole name. Okay. And this is the truth. And I remember hearing this. I was like, this young woman is ready for marriage. She is excited for marriage. But if you told an American woman she got to give up her name like that woman to tell you, I love my family and I can't give up my name, and she'll miss out. She'll walk out on the best thing she ever had. I'm telling you, they don't care.
You know, there are some, for the name thing, I know you want to move on, Payne, but there are some
no, go ahead.
There are some things, there are some cultural like exceptions I would make. Like I do know in some Hispanic cultures, the kid does get the mom's last name and the dad's last name. Like I know that. That's fine. That's a cultural exception. I don't have a problem with that, right? I have a problem when a woman looks me dead in the face and say, I'm not taking your last name. But then you ain't getting no fucking name. Get the hell out of here. And at some point in time, I keep saying this, as men, you got to look a lot of these women in the face and be like, I'm not dealing with this shit. But we got a lot of men out here that's like, well, maybe it won't be that bad. You know, they start to cave. They cave in, well, it's just the name. It's not, it's not that bad. Yes, it is. Because that's the first chink in the armor. All right, I got them to break on that one. What else can I get them to do? And this continuously keeps happening until finally you have a break to where she's in full domination. And now you got to ask for permission to go play golf. You know what I mean? like you can't do nothing now.
There's a domino effect. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, well, listen, we're going to get up to our last words. Take heed. You got some last words?
Not really.
It could be on the topic, it could be on anything, but it could be on the topic or whatever else you want to say.
Nah, I talked enough tonight. I'm about to go relax with my husband.
Okay. I appreciate you coming up, though. That's for sure.
Thank you. Everybody have a good night.
Good night,
All right. All right. Trey, what's going on, man? What you got, man? Last word.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Pop the Balloon show is fun. I think it's fun to review. I think it does give a little bit of a microcosm to the current dating atmosphere. I don't think it fully represents it, but it certainly does represent some aspects of today's dating pool and what you will come across. And at the end of the day, I think we want the women to get better, right? But there's a part of this where the men also have to be a little bit better too. So it's both sides have got to get better in hopes that the entire pool will get cleaned at some point in time, right? But ultimately, we're seeing women that are coming on there, and every single one of them is some type of project. And I think we just got to, men are going to have to make a decision on, are you ready to work on this project or you not want to work? Because they all are projects. They all are jacked up in some sense, right? I would say if she's got kids, I would leave that alone.
Right.
I know that women can change. I know there are women who have changed and they've been for the better. But my problem with change is that you can always change back. Especially in a generation of I'm leaving because I'm not happy. And that's the generation we're in right now. We're in a microwave generation. Yeah. I'm not happy today, so I'm going to divorce you tomorrow. And you've been willing to take on somebody else's kid. That doesn't make any sense. The highest rate of men who file for divorces are stepfathers. That should tell you something, right? So I would stay away from that. But ultimately, it's good to pay attention to. Hopefully, I do see a lot of younger guys who seem as though they have some standards, which is great. I love the fact that a couple of those guys were like, I don't like the way you were going back and forth. I don't like your demeanor. You lack femininity. I love to see that. That tells me that to some degree we are getting through to the younger guys, and they're holding the women to a higher standard. I am a little bit concerned whether or not the women care about being held to a higher standard.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think a lot of them. I don't think they care. But you know what's funny? The first balloon show we did, they had a woman on there who I thought was as close to perfect as possible. I don't know if you saw that show. She
turned out to be an OnlyFans model or something like that.
No, actually, no. I didn't look at her IG, but she came out. I mean, it's in the archives, right? The first this sister, she had a brown dress on, and she was eloquent, and she was, a high learner, and she was looking for actual relationship. So when she went down the line, it was a lot of good conversation. And I mean, just, if you heard her speak, you would know what I'm talking about. So it's back in the archives on Black Man's channel, but I have never seen a woman like her since on all that show. Not once. I mean, she was like a unicorn. I mean, she was stacked too, but she was moderately dressed. But when you have attributes, you can't hide them. You know what I'm saying? She had her dress came all the way down to like her ankles. So it was
and that's fine. We understand that as men. That some women are, they
shit, the natural.
They just got it like that. It is what it is.
Just got it like that. So she had a nice dress on. So and her conversation was fantastic. But she was the last woman. I've been looking. So I don't go to the show all the time, but I've never seen a woman like her again. But I don't watch it all the time. But I'm sure they have some other good women. But other than that,
that's the needle in the haystack, Payne.
She was the needle in the haystack.
That's the needle in the haystack. And that's why I used to get so frustrated with Uncle Jeff, because I'm like, Uncle Jeff, that's one. And here's the thing. I always say this. I try to get people to understand. When you get the needle in the haystack, it actually flips back. Right? See, before that, men have choice, right? We have the choice because there's so many women, right? We have the driver's seat until you get the needle in the haystack. The needle in the haystack, she's in the driver's seat because she's separate from all the other women.
Okay.
She has the majority of men that want her now. And what I'm talking about for serious relationships. I'm not talking about I'm talking about for serious relationships. Remember the girl that was on the Desirable Truth, the light-skinned girl with the red dress, she was a virgin. And she remember that?
Yeah.
She's in the driver's seat.
Right.
She's in the driver's seat. She can have any man she wants.
Exactly.
Right? Because she's different from the other. So a lot of people don't understand that it actually flips back into their favor. It's not no longer in the man's favor anymore because she's so different from the others.
You're gonna have to compete. If she's holding back, she's looking for the right guy. You're gonna have to compete for that. There's no doubt about it, man. So, I mean, you would have to enjoy the chase. And if you won, then you have something. But
you gotta enjoy losing.
Or
you enjoy losing because I'm serious. She only gonna pick one.
That's right. Well, you got to think that you got a chance. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man. So I wanted to keep this one light only because it's right on a holiday. But next week, and I told people this before, I was thinking about the Cam Newton thing, but I think this will be more serious. I want to put a show together that talks about the contrast of the liberal and the conservative, and which one has been worse for the Black community, worse or better for the Black community. And let's have a conversation about that, because part of the grift is that the conservatives have something against people who are Black. And it's the truth of the matter is our liberalism that has destroyed the damn Black community. This is my thing, but I want to put some pros and cons together and have people come up and talk about who has been worse for us, the liberal or the conservative. And I just want to kind of dice that up there and throw some shit up. And I have some clips I'm going to show and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be for next week. I was thinking about doing that this week. So I've begun on that, but I said, let me keep it light, man. We just talk about.
You gotta give us some gutter trash from time to time. We get serious next week.
Yeah, we get serious next. So next Monday at 7, everybody come out, and people, if you want to come up, it'll be a little political discussion, but I really want to stay on what's liberalism, what's conservatism, and why would, and the fact that, we'll talk about it then. Who is worse for us? Who is worse for us, and and in the backdrop of where we are today, who have we been listening to in mass? So anyway, well, that's all I have for today. Thanks for coming up, Trey. Everybody in the chat, man. I see you guys going back and forth. And BMU, I'm glad I didn't take your baby boomer bait. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Hey, let's take us out of here, man. Thanks for a lot, BMU. Everybody have a great rest of your holidays season. Whatever.